Don't know if you can see that. That's the cover of today's book topic, Conan the Rebel by Poul Anderson. Apologies to everyone involved with Sumerian September that I'm starting off my first Conan or my first Howard related post with a pastiche. I thought it would be good. I thought it would be good because the first page was good. It's not bad. I'm reading a lot of Poul Anderson this week. This might be the week of Poul Anderson. In fact, um, I've got several more on there. Some that relate to other events. This definitely qualifies for Shorty September because it's about 200 pages. Um, Quite short. Moves very quickly. It's set between part one and part two of Queen of the Black Coast. Conan is a pirate captain or right hand man to Belit, the pirate queen. They're having adventures. She doesn't play much of a part in the book, though. Uh, she has a long lost brother, retconned in, I guess. You know, I mean, if Spock can have a sister, if Spock can have a half brother and a sister we've never heard of, then all's fair game, I guess. Anyway, but Belit had thought he was dead or long lost or anything. So Conan has to go ashore and help the brother out. There's some gods involved. Conan is a fulfiller of a prophecy, either like by coincidence or by design. I think it's left up. He's allegedly he fulfills the prophecy in this land of the wielder of the axe. Kind of a I guess very broadly Excalibur kind of myth thing. And he doesn't really act like Conan very much. He's pretty mild and even tempered and politic and much like the older Conan might be. There's a bunch of prophecy stuff about how he's going to be a king one day. I don't know why they have to put that into everything. Who cares? We know that because the earliest Conan stories are of King Conan. So, or among the earliest Conan stories are King Conan. So we know what's going to happen. We don't have to know if. We don't need Conan to know. So it wasn't great. It's definitely, if you're interested in checking out Conan, I mean, definitely if you're interested in checking out Poul Anderson, do not read this book. It's really not up to his level. In fact, there's even some really clunky word choices and things that make me believe that he wrote it pretty quickly because he normally his style is very clean, maybe a little ornate, but very he was very deliberate writer, very careful in his word choices usually, from what I've seen. Um, I and I'm wondering because I've this month I've gone over a lot of things, a lot of science fiction. I've come across a lot of science fiction writers who wrote a lot of stuff, work for hire stuff, for various reasons, of course. Elsbert de Camp probably made most of his money off Conan in his later years, and Lynn Carter, and a lot of people wrote, Robert Jordan and Roland Green. People wrote a number of Conan novels each, and Jack Vance and Theodore Sturgeon wrote Ellery Queen novels at one time. I went through all his Planet of the Apes novels. Jerry Cornell wrote one. David Gerald wrote one. But I was looking through Poul Anderson's stuff. I don't think he did much work for hire. I didn't find. Maybe if someone knows, they can tell me. But I didn't find any movie novelizations by Poul Anderson. I mean, even Isaac Asimov has a movie novelization, Fantastic Voyage, that he wrote. So something people would do to pay the bills and all that. But I tend to think he just thought it would be a fun thing to do, or maybe he likes Conan, not enough to write a bunch of Conan novels. It came out in paperback in 1980, I think, and there was a few editions published over the next few years. Then when Tor took over all those books, they even published a hardback cover of it. So people were very high on it. It is well written. It does deepen the mystery of why nobody can write Conan. I mean, you could say nobody could write Conan like Robert E. Howard, and that's true, and that makes sense. Uh, except for Roy Thomas, who was able to write Conan, who was able to do a good job of adapting Conan. He's really the only person I can think of. I've never read a Conan book where I felt like, why, yeah, I keep calling Conan. Um, I must have something else in my brain today, but it's Conan. Uh, and I called him Conan all my life, probably until Conan O'Brien went on TV, and then I got sucked into what other people were saying. But it's Conan, Conan the Barbarian, the great northern barbarian. So I won't be reading any more pastiches. This lines up with Shorty September. It lines up barely with Sumerian September, and lines up with Poul Anderson reading I'm doing this week. I've got some good stuff coming. I've read everything I've liked by Poul Anderson. Everything I've read by Poul Anderson up till now, I've really enjoyed, and that was started with the Broken Sword, which everyone should read if they like fantasy, and it's gonna follow up later this week with with a book that ties in with September, A Midsummer Tempest. I haven't started it yet though. About to start the High Crusade, which sounds amazing. It's got quite a high concept book, but I guess I'll talk about that later in order to not repeat myself. What are we at? 8 minutes. That's good. I gotta start doing stuff here. Uh, I got shit to do, life stuff, because I'm leaving here in I think 17 days, and I got stuff to do. I've got paperwork to sort out. I've got some long term plans. I really have to start setting into motion, but instead I'm just here playing around on YouTube. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't read this book unless you really want to, and check out some other Poul Anderson instead. More to come. Thank you.